What's up, everyone? Welcome to the V Spot. It's your girl Veronica here. I know we haven't really taken the V Spot in as much the past few months during COVID. I personally have been using the past few months to focus on my studies. But to be honest with you, the last few days, the last week alone has been really, really getting to me. And I just can't keep it anymore. I've been hitting my head against the wall about what has been happening down to our neighbors in the States. So what I wanted to bring in a friend of mine, Mike Fraser. Mike, I've actually wanted you to come on to the V Spot. You're on my guest list from the get-go, but I really feel that this is an important show for you to be on today because I see how active you are on social media.
Yeah.
I see how passionate you are about not only basketball, but also, again, social justice, justice reform, racism, blue lives against, not against Black lives, but Black Lives Matter, and police brutality. So first off, thank you so much for carving out some time and being on the show today. I know you're a busy man, but we really, really appreciate you being here.
No, I just appreciate you having me come on, and like you said, it's been a interesting 4-5 last month, but I just feel like, like you said, that was heavy on us, and then now this, but it's long overdue. It's definitely long overdue.
100%. And we're totally going to get into that. And I'm not going to lie, today's show is actually pretty raw. I didn't send you any topics. I really didn't even give you an idea what we're talking about, but you knew because of what is happening. So
Right.
For you viewers and you listeners, again, Mike has not been sent any topics. I don't have a schedule. We're just going to talk our feelings and our emotions because I think that is what we need to do today, right now. So Mike, I do want to start off by asking you, I know you just touched on it a little bit, but how are you doing? How are you personally doing, not only as a Black man, but just watching everything unravel, specifically in the United States?
Okay, for me, to be honest, it's nothing new for me. I'll only say that because I lived in the States, right? And I think, and that might be a reason why I'm so passionate about it, because I lived in the States for a long time. I was out for 13 years, and I lived in Maryland. Maryland is not as much as I'm not going to. The States culture is bad, right? But Maryland, especially where I lived at, was a predominantly Black area, but just down the street was a predominantly white area. So once again, it's a segregated area, right? So PG County, where I grew up at, Prince George's County, is predominantly Black. So is DC, but the inner core of DC is white, right? Okay. Powerful white people, and you feel it. It hits you as soon as you cross that line into that area. Feel it hits you, So I experienced it then, but it really hit me when I actually went to the South. I went to school in Oklahoma. No, I went to school in Texas first. I went to JUCO in Texas, and it hit me then. But once again, it wasn't as impactful because I was just outside Houston, Texas. So Houston is a very vibrant, cultural, diverse city. But outside of that, you feel it. And I was in a small town called Pasadena, and it was there, but it was on a lower scale, especially what I felt when I went to Oklahoma. Right, when Oklahoma was on a totally different level. The impact was there. As soon as you went there, you felt it. But the biggest thing for me was when I, aside from what happened, things that were going on in the school, just the culture of the school, just the people at the school. I would just say from Oklahoma City, one thing I try to tell people was the first thing that threw me off, and I couldn't believe it, was when I went to it's a place called Bricktown.
Okay.
Bricktown, I think it's like downtown. It's like College Street for us, It's like
okay.
kind of like a type of vibe, right? Not as vibrant, especially back then, because back then the New Orleans Hornets just got there, right? It was before it was OKC, so it wasn't as hip as it is now. Like KD invested, at least guys invested things into the city, so it kind of brought it up in ways. But anyway, so there was two clubs beside each other, right? Where here you would have the same energy where you have two clubs beside each other, whereas one might be house techno, one might be hip hop or whatever. But the difference of this was the two lines, one was Black, one was white. I never saw that in my life until I went to here. And that was like my first weekend going down there.
Really?
Yeah, it was insane. Like literally one black, one white on one street. You understand what I'm saying? And then it hit me there. But then when I started going to school and I really started to see it, just the energy of people and how they thought, and it's a Bible Belt. I don't know if you're familiar with the Bible Belt area.
No.
It's basically a the southern states that are very deeply religious in their culture. So you probably see it, the energy now a lot better, a lot more than others. Like so those states like so Bible Belt states would be like Oklahoma, Kansas. I want to say Louisiana. That kind of area. I don't want to be misspoken on the states exactly, but I know it was Oklahoma, Kansas for sure. And like just in that area. But anyway, their whole culture was all about religion. Religion first. Everything's religion, you know, and obviously if the religion is Christianity, Jesus Christ, that type of thing, right? So that's a very energy you get there, and then you have the energy as what you guys see right now is the hate for others. So mix that into one place, and it was a rude awakening.
That must be tough. That must be tough to not only live through, but I mean, that obviously sticks with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. You know, so how are you dealing with not, I think getting over is the wrong term. How are you just dealing with going through life and continuing and not letting it get you down, I guess?
The biggest thing for me was, you know, I think the biggest blessing for me was that I came from here. I had a cultural background of what here was, right?
Yeah.
So that's always been ingrained in me. Like I didn't leave Canada till I was like 12 years old, 13 years of age. You know what I'm saying? So I already had like a kind of a base of Canada. So I already knew that was there, even though we went to the States and got in different cultures, I already knew that was there. So I already knew this is not really everything. This is not life. This is not understand. But I will say, you know, living in the States, living in Maryland, I kind of had that culture of where it was like, you know, I was black. It was just like, when I went there, I was like, what the hell is this? I don't want to even be a part of it. And then I looked down on it. But then I had to bring myself back and was like, okay, I shouldn't look down. I should understand why these people are like that. And then from there on, it was more about why are these people like that? And as I was there for 2 years and I started traveling, I just kept the same energy when I travel around the world, because it made me understand people a lot more of why you're like this, not just like looking down at these people or talking. No, I just wanted to understand why, and I've always continued like that. So it made it a lot easier. And then even traveling the world, that made it easier, because I went to 10 times places that were worse than the South, right? As far as racism, but it was just a matter of understanding their history, their culture, and why they're like that. So that helps me get through a lot more of the BS. But going to what you're saying right now, getting through what's going on right now, I've already seen it, you know, already been through it. Like I've had instances, the same thing, the cop, man, even worse in Texas. Like, you know, it was incidents just like what you're seeing right now. Thank God I've never been shot, but you know, yeah, it was bad. It was bad, you know. So like I said, I've been through it, but for me, it's like now that's why you see me so hard on social media, because I'm like, yo, now I finally have the opportunity to say something and I won't be in trouble for it. You understand what I'm saying? Because before I would get in trouble, I would have to be like, yo, can I post this? Can I talk about this? Because it was like so taboo, you know? But we experienced it, we felt it, but now it's like, okay, finally we can speak on it and get it out there. And I've been hearing a lot of people be like, yo, especially like the shooting for the young black man just the other day, which thank God he survived. Yeah. But you know, it was violent. People are like, yo, you're sharing stories and people are getting numb to it. I'm like, we are already numb to it. It's been happening. Like Rodney King was in 92. So what are we talking about right now? You understand what I'm saying? Like,
that's so funny you said that. Again, guys, me and Mike this is raw, we had no topics discussed. So Mike, you actually you touched on one of something I was thinking about talking about, was resharing these videos or to not reshare. Just like you said, I've had people come up to me and like, Veronica, because I share, and I'll explain why I do in a moment. People have come up to me and said, what are you doing? Like, this needs to stop. People are becoming numb to it. It's going to be normalized. And then all of a sudden, it's just someone's going to see, in particular, a black man or woman a black person being shot. And it'll be like, that's not my mentality at all. And that is exactly why, the opposite as to why I'm sharing. I am sharing because we all need to be accountable. We all need to be held responsible. And I'm sorry if 100%, I will give a trigger warning every single time. No problem. I respect that. But I'm not trying to glorify or normalize these shootings of black men. I am trying to show my following that this is happening. There is 3 young boys in the back of Jacob Blake's car, and they witnessed their father getting shot 7 times, not once. Like, you want to know what? I don't justify shooting anyone or anything. The cops could obviously say, oh, we only shot him once, whatever. But 7 times, that is excessive. That is with intent. So, yeah, I am going to show it. And you're uncomfortable? Guys, women, girls, people, I'm sorry. I don't care. Right. His family's uncomfortable right now. He's uncomfortable.
100%.
So I'm glad you touched on that. If you want to continue on that.
No. Definitely, you hit it on the head. Like, if people are like, and I'm like, you got to put in people's face, because a lot of people I have been across that would say to me, I can't believe this is happening. And I'm like, this has been going on.
Yes.
Like, so you might be a person that, okay, I see it on social media and the whatever, but there's other people that have never seen it before and are like, they're shocked, and they have to understand that, yes, this is still going on. Yes, it is normalized because it is still going on. So it obviously is already normalized, right? So that's why I don't get what people say like that. It's already accepted by society, because as we see all these cops, what has happened to them, right? So that is normalized in a nutshell. So
Honestly,
I don't
Brianna, yeah,
right?
Brianna.
So now that the energy is there where you can, once again, share the video and be like, who is this cop?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this cop, okay, if they're not gonna, if this government's not gonna, or not government, the police department's not going to take care of the business, okay, let's shame this guy. I have no problem with shaming. I have no guy. Okay, if you're gonna walk down the street, just know that you're a cop killer. I mean, you're a killer that's a cop, and on top of that, you have no business being on the street. So we're going to shame you out here in the open, and you're gonna live that type of life that guy that you shot or you were trying to take to jail would have. I'm not even gonna say him, because he'll probably, thank God he survived. Let's just say another guy that you would have attempted to put in jail. You were trying to make his life that living hell, being in jail, but you're gonna be in a jail in society. You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
So it's just so no, trust me, I'm all about it.
Same. And and it's unfortunate, but again, to kind of, let's circle back. I want to talk about the NBA in a moment, but to circle back about what you said in the beginning was, to not only hold people accountable, but also if the government officers, whatever, aren't doing it, then the community is going to step up. If you want to know what? If everyone else was doing their job, the community wouldn't need to step up. Let's be real.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
There wouldn't be protests if everyone just did their job. And let's be real. I'm getting hot. Like, it makes me so infuriated inside, as I'm sure, of course, you and millions of people around the world, right?
Sure.
But we could talk about this forever, and I appreciate your comments on this. I think they're so important. I think a lot of people are going to agree with you. There's going to be some that don't agree with us. That's okay. We're not in the business to make everyone happy. We're in the business to change. So
yeah, exactly. That's been the problem, though, right? That's been the problem. Everybody happy, keeping the the same. Like, we have to keep this. We don't want society. They did not want this. That's the whole point. Yeah. They did not want this rebellion. They did not want this energy of saying, yo, no, that's not right. You know, this person is a human. It's not even about black or white. This guy is a human. Mm-hmm. It's a human life. And that's what it all comes down to. That's why I just don't get that when people comment in certain ways of all life matter. You're absolutely right. Everybody life matters. So why the hell do people that look like me and walk this earth like me have a better chance of losing our life when we walk down the street or in a car just like you, but we have a better chance of losing our life just because I look like this. That's the whole point, right? It's just because of how I look. So we're trying to bring awareness to that. So it has nothing else. That's why when you brought up the NBA and obviously the NFL, and that's finally the energy that people understand, it has nothing to do. And they obviously put into some political thing over there, you know what I mean, like into the national anthem and all that stuff. And it's finally been broken down. Like, this has nothing to do with it. This just has to do with, and obviously in America with, it is even deeper rooted where the fact that this is in the national anthem where we aren't supposed to have this freedom, you know, as minorities. So it all goes together. But anyway, like I was saying, you know, that we just have to keep getting the energy out there that this is so much bigger than sharing a video. This is so much bigger than that. It's just about bringing awareness to it. Now you might walk down the street and you might see now, yo, this guy has a different energy to this black guy for no reason. Yo, let me step in and say something. Yo, let me hold this guy accountable. No, let me cut this short. So then he's gonna, you know, one of the biggest thing for me right now is the big. I say the most glamorous thing for me right now. And I'm so happy. It's not cool to be racist anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not cool. You used to get away with it. You could have been a racist and hit it. Nobody wants to be affiliated with a racist. You can't be affiliated with a racist. Nobody wants energy because that you really feel that negative energy right now, right?
So 100%. Yeah, and that just proves we are moving towards better. And speaking of moving towards better, Wednesday the Milwaukee Bucks didn't show up to the game against the Magic, and from that moment on, all the other teams that were scheduled to play, except for the NHL, who had a moment of silence or had a moment. Every other team, I think, did the appropriate and the respectful thing. Said, we're done. Nope, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. But that being said, Mike, I want to ask you a question. Wednesday night games, they boycotted. Thursday night games boycotted. Friday night games back on. Now, even after Raptors' first ever franchise sweep last week, and not to mention looking for back-to-back titles, the team was thinking about boycotting the playoffs before Milwaukee. It was Monday. So the fact that the Toronto Raptors, who are probably in the most, I'm not sure the correct word, but in the most maybe glorious position, were thinking about boycotting the whole playoffs. What does that tell you as a group, as a league, as a team, as one? But also, I want to mention that I was very upset that the league, and I want you to touch on this, I was really upset that the league even restarted. I was on the same boat with Kyrie. I thought, why is everyone so concerned about starting basketball again when all of this is going on? They should put their time in, their money, and all of their effort into stopping this. I love basketball. I'm not a professional player like you, like them. I love it. But I felt there was so much more important things at hand. And a lot of people were upset with Kyrie. Like, what are you doing? Like, go to the bubble. Use your platform as awareness. Speak up. He's like, no. So I want to know what your thoughts are on the teams having the control either on voting to play, which they did, and boycotting the rest of the season, which today unraveled a little bit of news, but I'll let you answer that first.
To be honest, I was all about the boycott from day one. Like, I was all about not going back. I was like, yo, keep this energy. You guys are on the streets. Let's keep that going. Yeah. But then I had to go to the other side and really be like, you know what? There's a lot of guys I understand that are living paycheck to paycheck. They're on the NBA and they're bored. everybody looks at them, they're like, yo, they're living their paycheck. And I know what it is to be on the side, like having to go depend on to go overseas, or to go do that, And I really have to look at it like this. I had to, even though those guys are making millions, well, they should be more aware of how they should spend their money and all that stuff. That's their business. You can't tell somebody how to do their business. They should have money in their pocket, but a lot of guys don't. So on that fact, I would like, okay, I get why going down there. So I was like, let's just see how they pull things off, which I give the league credit. They let these guys do a lot of talking. They never shut nothing down. They had Black Lives Matter everywhere. But like we see, that really didn't take us too far, because a month later, we're back at the same place, right?
Exactly. Angrier than ever, it seems.
Right. So now this second time around, I'm like, yo, take that. Like, let's just keep saying, let's just keep this energy and keep this boycott going until we can have some tangible stuff to just work off, right? And I really appreciate how Milwaukee took their time. He was like, yo, we want the governor to do this and A, B, and C, right? But then I had to really sit back and I'm like, okay, it's still the same problem where the guys really have to get a paycheck, which sucks, because we're depending on, we're looking to guys to be like, no, forget my livelihood, forget my kids, continue this momentum. But the biggest thing for me is, what are they gonna? Okay, now they went back and everything like that, right? But my biggest thing for me is, I understand them going back because it is a platform for them, which they can use and they can push. But I don't care about them anymore. It's the owners. I really don't care about the players. That's one thing I realized about all this. It's about the owners.
They've been quiet, right?
Thank you. So now I don't even care what the players are saying. What are the owners about to do? You understand what I'm saying? What are the owners about to take care of to make this thing? So being back in the bubble is actually a good thing for us.
Okay.
Because now the players can actually be like, okay, we're gonna go back. I saw them come up with a few things today. I didn't get into it because I was working or whatever. But I saw them put out a few things where they wanted to put out a list of demand. But I was saying before, last night, I was saying, let's see what else they come with to really push the owners on laws. I don't really care about the money you're putting. I want laws, because laws is the only thing that's going to really change what's going on, right? 100%. So let's just see how they use that momentum going forward. Okay, yeah, LeBron's pushing the narrative for the vote, go vote. All that is true. All that is very true. But even if we put Joe Biden or whatever in there, are laws really going to change?
That's a good point. And that's something I've wondered as well. Like the Lakers and the Clippers, they voted. I heard LeBron walked out of both meetings. The Lakers and the Clippers voted to boycott the rest of the season. The rest of the teams, and what seems like the owners as well, voted to play. So to me, is that detrimental to the movement and the fact that it doesn't really seem like the league is in solidarity with one another, right? It's kind of like 2v the rest.
100%. I think that just comes down to with the money thing, right? I mean, not even obviously the money, the games, the money on a bit higher level. I'm talking about these guys and their paychecks. I think that's just what it comes down to. These guys, there's a lot of guys in there that need that paycheck. You know what I'm saying? And they're looking like, yo, I'm not trying to lose $4 or $5 million next year. I'm telling you, that's what that comes down to.
Is that selfish then, Mike?
It very much is. And I'm telling you right here, my heart of heart, I feel like in the bigger picture, of course, it'll never happen. But if there can be a pot, like these guys can have something to come from, could you guys make enough money to be like, okay, let's put these guys a stipend, I don't know, something where they can have a pot to tap into, where we can really shut this thing down and keep this momentum going. Because I don't know, that's just, reaching, but I'm just saying they could come up with something where it's, okay, let's try and help these guys out so we can use this stage to hold these games. But like you said, there was only 2 teams, the rest. So I don't know. We're all in a situation right now where it's like, okay, we're putting a lot of weight on athletes, which shouldn't be the guys that are taking all this weight at the end of the day.
That's very fair. That's
like, that's what it really comes down to. Yes, they have this platform. Yes, they're trying to do it right. Yes, but they really shouldn't be guys taking all this burden. There's I mean, if you look at guys, even talk about Canada, they guys like Justin, our prime minister, should be stepping up in more ways. Look at I think Ford. He put more money to like the OPP the other day, 25 million. Like, bro,
and he told teachers to step up too.
Step up. Yeah. How you gonna tell teachers step up and give like 25 million? Like, are we serious?
Yeah.
Like, but so we're saying, yeah, these players and shit, but it's stuff like that, right? Because as you see, it's still at the end of the day, they really don't care. The people that matter really don't care as much. So I feel, once again, for us as society, we have to keep pushing with sharing stuff, with talking about it, with the petitions, the emails, and just stay at it, because we the people have the power.
I love it.
A lot more than we used to, a lot more than we used to. So we have to keep using this power and keep trying to push the narrative, push the change. And that's the only reason, that's the only thing that's gonna right now help us. But I think it's gonna be, honestly, and it's a worst thing to say, but it's gonna be our parents passing away that's really going to initiate the change, because it's our parents' generation that these guys are in power. They're sticking to their thing, and it needs to be our generation that's going into these places and actually changing, and rearranging how things are gone at the top. So
I agree. So something I want to talk to you about is basketball culture, and something that I personally think needs to change. Not necessarily something that our parents had brought to the table, but remember when Montrezl Harrell of the LA Clippers, a few nights ago, he had said some derogatory terms to Luka Doncic. Do you remember those? I don't want you to say
it. Yeah, for sure.
So I think they were racist remarks. I've been reading all over the internet, everywhere, articles, watching the shows, and a lot of people agree. Now, if you guys don't know what it is, just we're not gonna say it, but just Google Luka Doncic, Montrezl Harrell, and you'll figure out what Harrell had said. I don't believe there were any ramifications, and if there were, then they weren't very big. I know the league did notice. I had it was talked about, and I also actually know that Harrell, he did apologize to Luka before the next game. But I don't even think it should have been said in the first place. And I understand intensity, and a game is big and there's a lot on the line. But once again, Mike, as a professional basketball player, has anyone ever spoken to you like that, either on or off the court? And why do you think it is acceptable for players like Montrezl to say that and honestly basically get away with it? Like, that's not very role model-like to me.
This is a tough one. I'm not going to lie. It's a very tough one. And I'm just going to break it down for you in this way.
Yes, please.
Honestly, I'll be honest. I know Montrezl wasn't saying it in that type of term. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm going to break it down why. Okay? It's always been in a basketball culture of the way. Okay, let's break it down like this. So go all the way back to White Man Can't Jump.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Let's just bring it all to White Man Can't, and it that was kind of what the same term, So for me, you got to look at that. Just look at that movie, and that will break down of why I'm not sitting here saying it's a good or bad. I'm just saying what it is in the culture where it would come out from Montrezl like that. You understand what I'm saying?
So is it okay if roles were reversed? Marc Gasol, Luka Doncic were to say that to any black player? Would that just be a part of the culture as well?
But he wouldn't. That's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. Okay. This is the thing why he would never have it in his mind to say it, because you're going into a culture or environment that you had to really prove yourself, so that wouldn't even come to your mind.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? You got to realize, look at Luka Doncic, right? Whatever. Or Paul Gasol or whatever. I wouldn't say Paul Gasol because he's a Spaniard. Spaniards kind of think different. Spaniards think they're the best in the world of basketball. So they wouldn't even come in. So they would actually come and be like, yo, I'm better than you. You can't touch me. Honestly.
So
Spaniards.
is that what it is though? Is that, so that's
Facts.
the,
Facts. Like
okay.
Spaniards actually, if you go to Spain you can't, they're going to look at you can't touch me. I'm better than you. You
So did
understand what I'm saying?
Montrezl say it because he was intimidated by Luka and that was his defense mechanism?
That's what I'm saying to you. It's not more of like that. It's more of like Luca's killing, right? You're killing. You're coming here murdering us. Bro, I got to do something and like make you feel some type of way. You understand what I'm saying? So
I
it's not where
what you're saying.
yeah, so it's not where it's like you're trying to like I understand and I saw comments like that and I get it, but it's not like that. It's you get where I'm coming from now? You get where I'm coming from?
I get where you're coming from. I'm just a little confused as to where it's appropriate.
Well, like I said, I'm not really saying it's not appropriate or whatever, but you gotta, like I said, Luka is coming in here killing. You understand what I'm saying? In his second year.
Yeah.
As a Euro guy. You understand what I'm saying? That's intimidation. So I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna try to dunk on him and be like, yo, and then but look at Luka, he didn't flinch.
He didn't.
He didn't flinch because he knows it's not in a way where it's like, yo, you know what would have been bad? If he would have been like, I'm just saying, let's just say if it was Luka or if it was Paul Gasol or if it was like whatever, something like that. He would have been like, whatever, Spaniard. You understand what I'm saying? Now you're getting personal. Now you're getting into some personal flavor.
Interesting.
You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you. I don't really understand though.
Because now you're getting personal. He's not really getting to it's just in a match where it's like, yo, I'm in here. I got to show him up. I got to let him know I'm in here because I know you killing. Because you usually guys like you have to come in here and like take 5, 6 years and 7 years. You understand what I'm saying? And do some stuff like you never really looked at it as, yo, he's this guy and I feel this way about him because he's a coach. No, it's like this guy's coming in. He shouldn't even be doing this. You understand what I'm saying? So I have to make him feel me. I have to make him feel a way. I gotta rattle this dude. I gotta do something to rattle this dude, get off his swag.
Yeah.
And then you come back and you understand what I'm saying? It's that type of energy. It's just I'm not like I said, I'm not sitting here saying, yo, what's right or wrong. I'm just saying the energy that he's coming with is not a malice type of way. He's really not coming in a way where it's a malice type of thing, right? And I understand what you're saying if the roles were reversed, right? But the roles can never be in a reverse because you're coming into a place where you had to come prove yourself and break grounds and be like, yo, Luka went low in the draft. Luka should have been a number 1 draft pick. Why? Because it was a Euro. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? Is that racist? It's not really racist. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't know. I'm confused.
Is it racist because they didn't take him there? Or is it be like they didn't believe in him because it was more of he was in a Euro league and they look down on Euro league, right? Is that racist? No, they're not. They're looking down on Euro league because they feel like they have the best league.
That's not racist. Yeah, that's not racist. But I think
but I'm saying he's coming from a standpoint, you're coming from an outside in. So but
I feel it should all be the same world, especially the world we're in now, whether you're on or off the court. Is the court a different world? And there we're allowed
Yeah, it's a different world for sure.
But it's televised and it's public and there's young children.
100%, but for us as athletes, we go in a different mind. You have to get on that level. To be that intense, I'm a totally different guy on the court.
Why doesn't LeBron say that?
Oh, I'm pretty sure LeBron goes crazy. It's just they don't catch LeBron.
It's a pretty sneaky guy.
For sure. But then you guys got guys I don't care, like a Kevin Garnett, right?
Right.
And Kevin Garnett, I've never met him personally, but from what I've heard, that me and people that know him said he's one of the coolest, down-to-earth guys in life. You understand what I'm saying?
I think that's such an interesting choice of words to use in today's heated society.
That I do agree with. Timing is bad. Timing's all bad.
Yeah.
All bad. I 100% would agree with that. When I said I was like, you know what I'm saying? I agree 100%, but I'm telling you, he's not coming up. It's more of, you know, macho. You know, you're taking over territory. But yes, Luka's a man.
Yeah, he's killing it. He's
a man. Yeah, he's a man. Like, and he's in here, and you can't talk to him. So I gotta try to rattle this guy out of his shell some type of way. Like I say, there's a lot more things that are worse. I'm pretty sure people have talked about Luka's mother.
I know she's quite beautiful, so I could imagine.
Exactly.
I
so
unfortunately I could imagine
talking. Is that worse? That's more disrespectful. Guys go talking about my mother in any type of way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can guarantee, I can almost cash a check right now saying they talked about his mother. You understand what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. They trying to, you know, it's not on the level where like, yo, this guy, because I'm pretty sure after, if they see Luka in a club, they're gonna be with, well, not a club now, but if it was they would be right there with Luka, doing it big and having their fun in some type of manner, you know. So in his mind, it's just more of an intimidate. I'm trying to intimidate this dude because he's nice. Because if he wasn't nice, there's no way Montrezl is coming at him like that.
No, okay. Let's pick this up. I hear you, and I think that very, very good insight because I never thought of it like that. So it'll definitely give me something to sit and
for sure.
mellow in. Kobe Bryant, his birthday was on the 23rd. We can't have his birthday. What day is it today? 28th. We can't have his birthday and not talk about what a legend he was. Do you have a favorite particular like Kobe moment off top of your head you want to share?
Man, when he dropped the 80, man, I'll never forget that.
Man, it was against us, right?
You know why it was so coincident? Because that was a crazy year for me. It was a very crazy year. You know, long story short, I always used to come back for Caravana weekend when I come back from the States for for like 4 days. Yeah, I would never miss it. Some things happened. My stuff got stolen, so my passport got stolen. I couldn't cross the border, so I was stuck here. Right, I was stuck here. Right, so I had to get my passport. Obviously, cancel my passport, do a bunch of stuff anyway. So I was literally in Canada watching that game, and they're playing the Raptors, right? It's obvious, and I was getting my hair braided, and I'll never forget it. So I was sitting there, and I was watching him go off, and I'm like, does he already have like 40 something? And we're here, God. And it was like, and then I actually stopped braiding my hair. I was like, yo, this is crazy. This guy's at 60. Because remember, he had like 62 weeks before that in Dallas.
Yes,
like, that was 60 again. So then I kind of like sat back and I was like, wow. So like I just got in the zone. Like, yeah. So the fourth quarter, I was like, yeah. So I'll never forget where I was at. That's definitely one of my biggest for. That'll be one that comes to mind first. But the second was his what's it called? All-Star game slam dunk competition.
Oh.
Yeah. Because that's where everybody was like, okay, he's here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
His swag. He was 18. Remember, we went with Brandy to the thing.
Oh my God, he went with prom to Brandy to prom.
Brandy to prom. It was a whole thing, right? People weren't respecting Kobe. He started airballing the game, and then he came to the All-Star game, and just it was like he did all like he was like you'd be like, how does this guy have all this attitude? How does this guy have all this confidence? And you're like, okay. I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep track of him. And ever since then, I was like, okay, I get it, Kobe. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That was the beginning of something beautiful, eh? And then
man.
So much more.
Yeah, man. It's just sad because he was such a mentor to all the young guys, and I could just imagine what he would have, the impact in the game because he had his academy. Obviously, he's gonna keep going, but his knowledge for the game was so needed. That was just his mind was just different. When you sat and watched his the ESPN special where he would detail the games, he would go through the games. I don't know if you ever seen one of those.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, man. I've seen 2 of them. So that actually just goes through the games, and he's talking about just analyzing, going through people's different games and breaking it down. He's just his mind, his basketball mind is just superior. It's just really superior to everybody. And now you see why Kobe was so good. Sad.
And you're starting to see it through like his protégés as well, right? Like Kobe, not only was he brilliant in the game, but he was going to change women's ball and like WNBA
in a totally different man. And he was hell bent on it because his daughter was coming up, and he's like, yo, I'm trying to get this to the best. I'm trying to get this to the best. When she comes in here, got to be on the next level, right? So his ambition for it was so personal, right? No, I agree 100%. I agree. And the development of the girls were, trust me, everything that Kobe Bryant was tapping into was so impactful, and it hurts to see. But we always have to say everything happens for a reason, right? So let's just really hold on to it, and
Yeah, he will rest in peace, Kobe, obviously, and who
yeah,
always.
man, because it's a Mamba mentality.
That's
You gotta
right.
go hard, or you gotta go hard. You gotta go hard if you really want it, right? And everybody knows if you're speaking Mamba mentality, that has to be it, right? So for sure.
So speaking of Mamba mentality, Toronto is playing again, but the Mamba mentality part of it is, Toronto goes to your first Kobe memory, 81 points, and then the other part is Jason Tatum. Game 1, semifinals. Mike, I need your breakdown. This is going to be a tough matchup. It really, really is.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But that look, I'm thinking you're thinking different.
It is. It is. But I tell people we're bigger, we're more athletic.
You're bigger.
Our defense is elite. They have Tatum, they have Brown. Kemba's gonna come in there.
Yeah.
And they said, but they're just not deep enough. I think we'll wear them down. We're gonna wear them down. And we throw so much defenses at guys. I think it's gonna confuse them. I don't think they're just gonna have enough steam to just to keep. Kyle Lowry and Fred. These guys are ruthless on defense. Like, okay, we can talk about offense and move the ball. Look, can they really shut down 6 guys, 7 guys averaging more than 10 points a game? Those guys are not really a defensive sound team. So I just don't see a problem with us and them. Honestly, I see us handling really good. It's going to be a good series, maybe game 6. I say game 6.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you.
I say game 6. I don't see game 7. Okay. I don't see Boston having enough steam, energy to last a game 7. If they do, I salute them, but I don't see them getting into a game 7. Our defense is going to wear them down too much, right?
Okay, so then you think Raps to the finals against who? The Lakers?
That's the thing. That's the West is a different.
West is different.
West is different. I'm going for the Clippers. Me personally, I want the Clippers to get in there. But I need their chemistry to get. I need this chemistry.
Paul George needs to step up.
The chemistry is not. Paul George really needs to he has to be Paul George. For them to win, he has to be Paul George. And I'm not really. I don't see the Lakers knocking down their 3-ball to beat the Clippers. Yeah, they can say they can go big boy and all that. You think LeBron and AD can last to the NBA, a game 6, a game 7, going 35, 40 minutes a game, doing what they do?
Right.
That's the only way Lakers win.
Yes.
So people keep saying, I'm like, okay, if they're superhuman, I get it, but these guys they can't come out the game for these guys to win. They can't. So the Clippers can, Raptors can. So I really see Clippers, Raptors in the finals. But
that'd be so much fun, eh?
Yeah, I think that'd be so lit. I think it'd be so lit. Now obviously I'm going with Rap. I'll definitely go with Rap, but I've been a Kawhi fan even before he even before he came to Toronto. I was a Kawhi fan.
Yeah.
So I was a Kawhi fan. I've been because I rock with him because he was a lockdown defender and he played both ends and he just got into his stuff with San Antonio and just locked in. So I've always been a Kawhi fan, but obviously I got to rock with the Raptors to win. Got to. That's mandatory.
Let's see. I mean, as frustrated I am that it is starting, I hope the league is starting and playoffs are continuing. I do hope if it is starting or when it does, they hit the ground running and they do something that, like you mentioned before, use that platform. Okay, cool.
I think they will. I think they will. I think these guys really, and I think that's the only way they're going to stay sane because it's on their chest, right? But I will tell you this, though. I will warn of this.
Yeah.
If there's something else that happens in between now and the NBA and end of NBA play finals,
Yeah.
We're not finishing.
Done.
It's over. It's over. It's over. So we'll see how society acts.
Honestly, honestly. Mike, I want to thank you.
No problem.
Not only for being so vulnerable, but brave for coming on the V Spot with me. Mentioned before, there's going to be some people who don't like it. That's okay. We're going to continue to speak our truth. You obviously continue to be that person on social media and in real life as well.
Appreciate it.
Of course, speaking what you believe. Everyone, I want you guys all to know, Mike owns Work Hard, Play Hard. It's a functional workout program for athletes and everyday gym goers. 0 to 99, Mike? You welcome everyone?
Everybody that's motivated. If you're not motivated, don't call me.
And are you based out of Mississauga?
Well, I'm everywhere. Like I said, I'm in the east end Scarborough. I'm downtown. I'm Mississauga. Just get at me. Let me know. Check out my page. I mean, my Instagram. To see exactly what I do. If you want to be familiar with it. So yeah, man, it's Big Mike WHPH. Work hard, play hard. Is what it is, and I appreciate you having me on here for real.
Of course, and everyone, don't scramble trying to find a pen. I'm gonna put all of Mike's contact information down below. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching and joining. Much like the movement, we're not gonna end here. We're gonna try and make a difference.
No way.
No matter skin color, no matter religion.
No matter what you are, accept people for who they are, right?
Yeah.
I just say, like I say, burn out, bad mind. That's the people we want to take her. Anybody that has negative energy, anybody, you don't look at anybody for nothing else. It's all about the character. That's all it's about. You don't see nothing else but character, man. And if people don't get that, I don't know what it is, because it's so crazy to me. People will be mad at me looking at the way I live, but then your brother will do you the most harm in life, or your own, and it's crazy, but. And you miss out on such opportunities just looking at people's whatever they are, whatever they live their life. Let them live their life as long as it's not harming you, right? Let just accept people for who they are. So it is what it is. We're all human, man.
Absolutely. There's one world, and I think we all deserve to enjoy it. No one deserves to enjoy it more than the other.
Straight up.
So thank you again, Mike. Thank you everyone for watching. This is the V Spot, and we'll definitely be in touch. We're not going anywhere. There's still so much more to talk about.
Facts.
Awesome. Ciao, guys.
Take care. All right.